everyone, welcome to today's live. Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. Hi, I'm very excited to talk about today's topic, which is how to recognize maqam by ear. Okay, seems to be working and all good. Okay, so let's dive in. So if you're tuning in live, do let me know. If you're watching the replay, say hi also. So welcome again to the how to recognize maqam by ear training. So I get this question all the time. Basically, it's one of the top 3 questions that I get most of the time, and it's because people want to be able to understand the music they're listening to. If you're like jamming with a musician, if you're a musician jamming with a musician, and you're like, ooh, what is the most appropriate way to react to that? So if I go, you can go, na 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 na, just you can mirror me or do something else. And if you're a dancer, you know how to react. You can just, because if the music is not embodied, then it's not, the expression is going to be slightly hindered. So it's an extremely valuable tool. And also, if you love a song, you just go like, I want to play this song. You just can instantly know the maqam and just play it. It's amazing. It's wonderful, and I know it brings a lot of joy to my students. And so, ready for the 5 top tools to recognizing maqam by ear? Okay, here we go. Number 1, learn the maqam building blocks. So I have created a methodology to teach maqam with Lego. Yeah. So basically, obviously, the Lego is a representative of a mini scale that is the heart of Arabic music. Yeah. This little baby here is the absolute heart of Arabic music. And there are only 9 of them that create 99% of Arabic music. So once you learn those mini scales, or what I like to call them maqam building blocks, then the whole thing is so much easier. So learn the maqam building blocks. So say you're listening to a song, and you hear that the root, because a maqam is built in a root, yeah. So it's basically the root is the most important thing because it's what creates the character of the maqam. And then the branch, right? So if you know what the root is, that's it. Game over. You can know what the maqam is because the root is what creates what carries the essence of the maqam. See. So just know your building blocks, and this is something that I teach. I'm gonna have a training on next week in the Maqam Lego experience. It's completely free, so if it's something you want to continue to explore, come join us. It's free. Okay, so the second tool is to just ask yourself, so you're gonna ask yourself like a series of questions. Where is the odd note? Yeah, where's the odd interval? Yeah, so if you just think of a major, so if you take the major as a standard, okay, where is the interval that is different? So this is rasta. So I'm gonna ask myself, okay, do I hear a quarter tone? Okay, this is it's not a flat, it's not a natural, it's in between. So therefore, I'm just gonna ask myself, is there an odd note? Okay, where is it? It's the 3rd note, right? So and this again goes back to your knowledge of the maqam building blocks. So and then you will instantly guess it's a rast. And if you're thinking this is a mission impossible, honestly, I have students who never studied music in a conservatoire. They recognize maqam like this. Literally, I'm not exaggerating. If you come to my Q&As in my academy and my trainings, you will just see, this is rast, this is hijaz, this is whatever. It's a piece of cake. So this methodology makes the whole thing much more fun, much more hands-on. So yeah, ask yourself, where is the odd interval? Another example, okay. Right, okay, so there's an odd interval between the second and the third note. Oh, okay, that's a Hijaz. Cool. And again, once you know that the root is Hijaz, game over. It's either Hijaz or one of the Hijaz families, right? Okay, number 3 is ask yourself, what is the character of the maqam? So, obviously, you know, maqamat are like what I like to call them, like the raw clay from which you can shape into different forms. So you can shape it as a composer, or when you do a taqsim, 100% you can. However, there are certain maqamat that have a very definite character that is impossible to miss. Okay, so when my grandma died, my granddad was singing a mawal, and guess what maqam he used? He used saba, because this is the weeping maqam, right? So knowing the character of each of those building blocks is so important. It makes it easier. And again, I encourage you to think of each maqam building block as a person in a way, you know. And you know, I always also, just to clarify, I never think of a maqam as a scale. Never, because this is not how music is practiced. My personal guide is how music is practiced, right? I looked at so many books, basically every single book on maqam on the planet, and I found them confusing, you know, and basically, and I decided to just go, right, bye theory, let me just listen to my own 30 years experience of doing maqam, and to the other, you know, the vast community of amazing, incredible musicians out there. And this is what guides me, and what guides me, what when you see music in practice, it's a chain, it's not a scale, right? So sidetrack, but important one. So as I said, know the character. Once you know the character of a building block, it's very much easier to go, okay, that's a rest, okay, that's Hijaz. Okay? 4, idiomatic phrases. So basically, idiomatic phrases are these melodic phrases that are very, very familiar. They're very well known. They have been used through, you know, throughout, basically, you know, through hundreds and hundreds of years, and they create the effect of once upon a time. So imagine if you are, like, you know, gathering next to a hakawati or your grandmother, and she's telling you, "Kan ya makan," once upon a time, and you go like, you know, you're magnetized, you're drawn, you're excited, you feel like, you know, fuzzy and bubbly, and because you know, okay, there's the good is yet to come, you know. And these idiomatic phrases create the same effect in the ear of the listener. They're so powerful. So obviously this is something that you do later on in your practice of learning maqam, particularly when you start to get the qasim. So idiomatic phrases is something so powerful. So, like, for instance, bayat. And there are so many types of idiomatic phrases. There are idiomatic phrases for opening. There are idiomatic phrases for modulating. There are idiomatic phrases for qafla, which is the ending, you know, the cadenza. So if you know those idiomatic phrases, you go like, okay, this kind of phrasing belongs to maqam bayati, for instance. again, it becomes so much easier. And in your investigation of what maqam, you can use all of these angles, or a combination of these angles, to ask yourself those questions. What is the building block? What is the root? Where's the odd interval? Where's the character? Where do the idiomatic phrases take me? Things like that. And then you have another mega indicator, which is basically this. So if I am doing taqsim maqam bayati, voila. So I'm obviously going to emphasize this one, the bayati building block. But what most people don't talk about is what happens underneath that. Because underneath the bayati, there is a rest. And, and listen to it. So let's use something very famous like Sama Ibrahim al-Adyan. Bayati, rest. Do you hear that? So basically, and same in taqsim, I'm just sort of like, I'm touching upon the rest. I'm using like increments from the rest below the root to get to the bayati. This is another mega indicator, So in your attempt to investigate what is the maqam, listen, what is happening below the root, because each, obviously this is meant to be a taster, but we can't go deep into each of those maqamat. But yeah, once you know what is the building block, which is only 9, again 9, it's just 9 that create 99 of Arabic music, then it's so much easier to know. So yeah, I hope this is helpful. So again, number 1, know your building blocks. Ask yourself, what is the root? The root is the most important thing, because this is what carries the essence of the maqam. 2, ask yourself, where is the odd interval? Do I hear a quarter tone somewhere? Where is it? Third note? Second note? Where is it? First note? Where is it? And that will give you an indicator of what is the building block. And then 3, the character. Is it intense? Is it expansive? And again, sometimes those things do not like use your judgment on, if based on, say, Western music, because what is happy, considered to be happy, quote unquote, because this is very black and white kind of thing. So I like to teach things in a more nuanced way, but just for the sake of this explanation, just happy, quote unquote. What's happy in Arabic music is not what is happy in Western music. What is sad in Arabic music is not what is sad in Western music. It's different, very different. Our sad is the sabah. This is the weeping maqam. And then the idiomatic phrases, basically the once upon a time. These are huge indicators of what is the maqam building block. And then lastly, what is happening below the root? What is it? What is the building block below the root? That is instantly gonna give me an indicator of, okay, that is a rest or hijaz or whatever. So I hope these 5 tools have been helpful in your practice of learning how to recognize maqam by ear. Again, I can't go deep into this because this is a very, very vast subject, and also because Arabic music needs to be looked at as a case by case, because again, as I said, each maqam behaves differently than the other, so you can't just generalize. So if you want to learn more, come join us to the maqam Lego experience. happening next week, and I will teach you the basics of maqam. And promise, cross my heart, I'm not going to use any bore music theory, and you can still get it even if you never received any musical training. So join us. It's maqamlego.com/experience, and I look forward to seeing you there. And it's free. I hope this is helpful. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and talk to you soon. And if there are any questions, do post them in the comments. Bye.